This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Nevada. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Nevada and Learfield.
Hey friends, and welcome to the latest installment of Wolfpack All Access presented by Champion Chevrolet. I'm Mike Stephenson. As always, we got a whole lot to get to on the show tonight as we begin with men's hoops. This week, Nevada taking a 3-game winning streak into hostile territory for a Wednesday visit to Utah State. It was a tight back and forth game for about the first 14 or so minutes, but ultimately taking care of the ball and guarding the three-point line would prove to doom the Pack. The Aggies turned 18 Nevada turnovers into 25 points while also hitting 16 of 30 from deep. You add it up and Nevada's winning streak ended in a big way, 90-69. That set up an even bigger showdown Saturday with the Wolfpack returning home and hosting San Diego State. And back in town for this one, Jared Lucas, the Wolfpack great, finding some free time as he plays his first season as a pro. Would he and 9,000 others be treated to a good game? Well, it was the visitors opening on a 5-0 run, but Nevada would answer with its own spurt. Kobe Sanders gets it started, then Xavier Dussel steps outside. Moments later, it's Justin McBride down low off the nice passing. Later this time, Dussel will put his head down as Nevada hits a 13-2 run to open up an early 6-point lead. The Aztecs, though, would have an answer. First getting a long ball from Magoon Guaf, then making it difficult on defense right away as Miles Bird swipes the steal and throws it down. It's a 13-0 run for SDSU. Pack's now down 7. And clawing back above the rim, Sanders slams it with authority. Then he'll help Nick Davidson do the same. Nevada is back within 1. But again, a reply from the visitors, who hit a 6-0 burst to end the half, and Nevada's back down 7 at the break. Would you believe it never got closer? San Diego State would hold the Pack without a field goal for nearly 5 minutes to start the second. It's McBride snapping the skid, but it wouldn't be nearly enough. The Aztecs go above the rim with Guaf, the enormous freshman flushing it with emphasis a couple times. This one getting out of hand as the threes then started to fall for SDSU. Nevada manages just 15 made shots in this one, the fewest since 2015. As a team, the Pack shoots under 30% from the field, under 20% from 3. You add it up, and it is a sour loss to San Diego State. 69-50. Nevada falls to 11-9 overall, 3-6 within the Mountain West.
We got to be tougher mentally. I mean, I haven't watched the film, but just watching it live and just knowing my team, you've got to be able, when you're going blow to blow like that, and then all of a sudden they go on a 13-0 run. And we talked about that. I said, we got to be tough enough that we're, regardless of what's going on offense, if they score twice in a row, they don't score 3 times in a row, let alone 13 points in a row. And we don't have that cohesiveness and that toughness that we've got to have. And our whole staff, we're working, but we've got to find different ways. We got to figure out which buttons to push that can get these guys to play through missed shots, to play through bad offense, and stop worrying about stop worrying about how you're playing offensively. Go make a difference as a unit defensively, and we're just not to that level yet.
Coming up, Steve Alford reflects on the week that was. Our sit-down chat with Coach is next on Wolfpack All Access. Welcome back to Wolfpack All Access presented by Champion Chevrolet as the Nevada men's basketball team ends the week with a tough loss at home to San Diego State. Here is our Alex Margulies sitting down with head coach Steve Alford.
Joined now by head coach Steve Alford here at Legacy Hall, and coach, obviously a tough week for your basketball team, and not much you can really sugarcoat, but in terms of just what you saw tonight and what you saw from your team, what do you got to say?
Yeah, we just the staff's going to meet through the night. We got to figure out different approaches. That's part of what our job is, because we're not we keep changing approaches, trying to, but we also know that we've been doing this a long time, and we've got a blueprint for success, and we're just not having that right now, Alex. We're losing about every way you can lose. Like, we go to Utah State. If you'd have told me we'd have shot 50, 40, 85, whatever that was, I would have thought we'd been right there, and we lose by 20. Before this game against San Diego State, when you play San Diego State, if you said, hey, coach, you're going to have 10 turnovers, you're going to quadruple the amount of foul shots that they get, and you're going to get 18 offensive rebounds to their 12, I'm saying I'll take that right now, because we're going to probably win the game, and we lose it by 20. So it's, now we have a game where our bench outscored our starters, their bench outscored our starters. I mean, it's like things that just don't happen, and so we got to figure it out. Coaches have got to. We feel like we're spending a lot of time on it, but we got to spend more time on it. And we had a long meeting with the players on, hey, what can we do to free you up? What is it? What's, and there's a lot of different new pressures on guys today, from NIL to all that stuff. But everybody's got to deal with that. Transferring, all teams are dealing with that, and we've just got to figure those things out, Alex, because we're way better than what we are. We know that. It's not because our guys aren't working. They're spending the time. They're putting the time in, and they are incredible people. We love them to death. We care about them. That's why we spent so much time in the locker room afterwards with them. That's why we're late doing this show. I'm just trying to figure out how can we help you. We want to help you. We love you. We care for you. But we're not anything like we should be. And we just got to, players and coaches, we got to figure that out.
Where do you think there was such a difficulty offensively? Obviously, San Diego State is an elite defensive team, but what was maybe the cause of not being able to score at a higher level?
I think the biggest thing is, one, our offense is very slow, and we've been working on it, but we just don't have a lot of fast pushers that can push the ball, and so that affects us. But I will say that the biggest issue is we let our offense affect our defense instead of making our defense affect our offense. And we have preached it and talked about it. My halftime with them today wasn't about adjustments. We were doing a lot of the good things we wanted to do defensively. But when they went on their 13-0 run, it's because guys were upset about how they're not making shots. We had guys that missed 2 or 3 shots that didn't shoot again the rest of the night. And you just can't do that. You've got to have a toughness to you mentally, Alex, that you can take the ebb and the flow of the game. And, okay, maybe my shot's not, I'm going to be a better driver. I'm going to get the free throw line. I'm going to rebound better. But I'm always going to guard. And we just don't have that makeup. We don't have that mindset yet. And we've got to figure it out as coaches how to get to that.
Quick turnarounds. Wednesday night, you go to Boise to take on the Boise State Broncos. Been an up and down season so far for them as well, but they're an experienced group. You've seen a lot of their players. What stands out and what you have seen so far from the Broncos?
Yeah, I haven't seen them a lot, but obviously Degenhart, and they've got Cardenas that comes from San Jose now running their point, and they've got several guys back, just like we do, and then they've blended with some transfers as well. So very, very similar, and hard team to play in their building. We've lost a lot of home games, Alex. It's very frustrating because we have, over the last couple of years, we've dominated at home. And then hopefully we can play well on Wednesday night, and then we know we're going to have a very tough interstate battle with UNLV come Saturday.
Another moment on the floor tonight, Jared Lucas making his return to Lawler Event Center. Seeing players like that, seeing them come back, it's got to be a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, it was so awesome. He was able to come to our walkthrough today, and for the guys to see him. And he spent the time and effort to get over here, to get over the mountain with the weather changing, and he plays tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I think, in Stockton. So, for him to make that effort, we're so appreciative of him. And he was such a great PAC member and he's always going to be a part of our family. And he is. He's having a really good year with the Legends. But having Jared back was super. I love seeing him right here on first row.
Coach, we appreciate you sitting down with us.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Alex. Thank you.
Next, he has long been a staple in the strength and conditioning department. We chronicle Matt Eck's ride with the silver and blue next on Wolfpack All Access.
Entering January 2023, it had been 2 decades since the Nevada men's basketball team beat a ranked opponent at Lawler Event Center. That changed 2 years ago when the Wolfpack beat not one, but 2 top 25 foes in Reno, doing so in back-to-back home games over a 9-day period. On January 23, 2023, the Wolfpack upset number 25 New Mexico in a 97-94 double overtime thriller. It followed that up 1 week later, beating number 22 ranked San Diego State 75-66 on January 31st behind Jared Lucas's game-high 26 points. 2 home games in 2 weeks with 2 court stormings as Lawler Event Center history was made.
Back here on Wolfpack All Access, presented by Champion Chevrolet, I'm Mike Stephenson. Strength and conditioning, of course, is an integral part of success on game day. Our Shannon Kelly recently sat down with the man who has put over 20 years into strengthening the Wolfpack.
Matt Eck anticipated his time in the biggest little city would be short-lived.
Leaving Kansas State to come here, I was like, okay, I've got an opportunity to do my master's degree, and I'll spend 2 years doing that, and then another opportunity will come up. I'll be off and headed somewhere else.
Fast forward 2 decades. The Newton, Kansas native is one of the Wolfpack's most tenured employees.
This place was magic for me. It allowed me to do everything that I wanted to do, everything that I thought that this career path was going to be. Nevada was that place. Here we go, big time day, 1-0 today. Work on 3, 1, 2, 3, work!
24 years at the University of Nevada. What does this place mean to you?
It's a second home, honestly. I was a young kid when I moved here, and growing up and being in this environment and seeing the growth in every department has been really, really cool and life-changing to be a part of.
Eck has worked with some of the best to don silver and blue.
I don't know that I could sum up 24 years other than all of the athletes that I've trained in that time. That's why I do what I do, and that's what's led me to stay here and not look around. Is the people that are involved in Nevada athletics, the community of Reno. I could not ask for more.
To be the head strength coach for both Sweet 16 teams, the 2010 Nevada football team, the 2015 Nevada baseball team, to be at the helm of those programs, what are some of the memories that you recall most from those Nevada teams, some of the best who have stepped foot on campus?
I always go back to the competition. And I'm not saying that we don't have that level of competition now, but that is the first thing that comes to mind is we would play on Saturdays in football. And on a Sunday, 24 hours after a game, Colin Kaepernick and Virgil Green and Vitala are coming in to compete on cleans. And not that I was requiring them to compete, they did that on their own. They set their standards to watch Ramon and Nick lead those teams back then, and to see Kirk Snyder and Todd Okeson and these guys from the first Sweet 16 team, and to watch them compete like Coach Johnson competed, as he was one of the most competitive persons I've ever been around in my life. That's what I always draw from those teams that have been super, super successful, is they found a way to compete every single day in every aspect of their life.
In 2008, Eck was promoted as the Director of Strength and Conditioning, which meant working with football full-time. Nearly 10 years later, Eck transitioned back to working with men's basketball.
I think if you ask my family, it was probably pretty stressful for them, transitioning from something that was very ingrained in my family, being I was gone before my kids woke up, I was home when my kids were going to bed. And that transition was scary, but at the same time it's been very rewarding to have peace of mind knowing that I'm there for my family also, and getting to watch my kids and getting to coach my kids in their sports, because I do have a little more time for my family, not working with football. So it's been a blessing in disguise.
You may even hear Eck on the bench at Lawler Event Center.
I've been told that I have a decent voice that I can carry. That's been super fun for me to be involved with defensive efficiencies and kill calls and things like that. that's fun for me on game days, and it makes every day showing up to work worth it.
What is your favorite part about your job?
You get to tell me that I get to show up to work in shorts and sweats, get to be around some of the all-time greats, to walk through here and to have just a piece of their success. That's all you need. They walk in unsuspecting as freshmen and as new transfers here, and they don't know who they're dealing with, and they see a bald guy with a beard and they're like, holy cow, he's just a teddy bear. At the end of the day, he loves me, he cares about me, he wants me to do well. Those are the things that I look forward to.
Attaboy. Nice, KJ. Good work. Yeah, Chuck. Yes, Amir.
For a kid from Kansas that probably couldn't have pointed out where Reno was 25 years ago, I tell all my friends and everybody back home and everybody that comes and visits out here, they're just blown away because they just think it's brown desert, and it's not. It's one of the most beautiful places on earth. At every crossroads, Nevada was always here for me. That's been in the back of my mind, is that I want to give back to this place. I want to make sure that this place is taken care of the way that it should be and the way that it took care of me.
Great stuff there with Matt Eck, whose oldest son Carter is actually on the Wolfpack football team, while his youngest son Mason suits up for the Bishop Manogue Miners. Coming up on Wolfpack All Access, women's basketball plays a home tilt with the Air Force Falcons. It was a close one. Those highlights and more are next.
Hi, my name is Aaliyah Jenkins. I'm on the Nevada softball team, and I will be answering 5 questions today. Socks, stirrups, pants, then jersey. Probably when I walked off Fresno State my freshman year, thanks to the wind, shout out the wind, and that was a good game, yeah. Close to home, but a little far away from home, and I love how it looks in every season here. I get to be involved, but also like a support for my pitcher, so I get to be involved every play, but also kind of behind the scenes work. I would say a Jaguar, because they're like sneaky fast, but like also like scary, but they also look kind of cute, so.
Wolfpack All Access presented by Champion Chevrolet rolls on. Just one game this week for Nevada women's hoops, with the ladies looking to snap a 2-game skid back at home and hosting the Air Force Falcons. Our Nikki Pica has those highlights.
Dymo Maxey putting the team on her back with 12 of the Pack's 23 points in the first half alone. Maxey breaks the basket and lays it in there. She leads all scorers in the first 20 minutes of play. Air Force putting the pressure on Nevada, leading the Pack for most of the first half. Now Tori Davis off the inbound and drains a 3-ball. Nevada struggling to take care of the ball, turning it over 15 times in the first 2 quarters of play, allowing Air Force to hold on to a lead at the half. But Nevada comes out of halftime firing on all cylinders. Izzy Sullivan from the corner, not once, but twice, pushing a lead for the Pack. Finally, with minutes left in the game, Nevada leading for most of the final 2 quarters, Air Force brings it within a point with a 3-ball from Keely O'Halloran. But Davis puts this game away with the charge call and makes 3 of 4 free throws. Nevada is back to 500 in Mountain West play at 4-4 and 9-12 overall.
The Wolfpack women now host Fresno State this Wednesday at 11 a.m. It is the annual When I Grow Up game, and the word is some 9,000 local kids are supposed to be packing the stands. That is going to be something. All right, coming up next, we're wrapping a bow on January's final edition of Wolfpack All Access. Wrapping things up here on Wolfpack All Access with some weekly Mountain West honorees on campus. First in the pool, where Nevada's win over UNLV led to a Wolfpack sweep. Scarlett Ferris was the swimmer of the week, Bailey Hadra was the diver of the week, and Kiara Lee Ollett was the freshman of the week. And on the tennis court, Weeam Baker was the conference's player of the week, while on the men's side, Max Contet took freshman of the week honors. Meanwhile, over at the new Reno Tahoe indoor track, the Wolfpack hosting the Nevada Invitational with the Silver and Blues track and field teams all in action, competing against well over a dozen area schools. The three-day event is Nevada's second to last home meet. Next up is the Wolfpack Classic. That'll be February 7th and 8th. All right, that is all, folks. Thanks for joining us on Wolfpack All Access presented by Champion Chevrolet. I'm Mike Stephenson saying so long, friends.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.